All right. Welcome to My Kind of Convo. I'm your host, Criss.
I'm your host, Kim.
Crisscross.
All right, guys. So thank you again to all of our listeners for tuning in, and anyone who's new, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. We're gonna hop right on into it. I know we have some more exciting topics we would love to talk about, and so let's go, Kim.
All right. So today, most people would be talking about it today as you know, an interesting thing that's happening. So this is very, very big in the console wars, as y'all are gonna know right now.
All right, count console.
Console.
You mean like
wars.
PlayStation and Xbox?
I'm talking PlayStation, Xbox.
Okay, because it took me a minute.
So you see now your ears is perked. Now your ears is perked. So today, Xbox announced they will not be putting out any new consoles.
Good.
This is the death of Xbox.
Why? How are they doing this now?
They are now going to become a third-party vendor.
To who? So I'm going to be playing Xbox on my PlayStation now?
So, yeah. So it's not going to have any more Xbox exclusives, so to say.
Oh, so my partner needs to keep his Xbox. Because he was ready to sell it. Like, he was ready to
now
give it
vintage,
up.
babe.
Now, exactly. Now I'm like, don't you dare.
Right.
That is like, that
Xbox
is going to be.
has decided they are going to step back from any hardware consoles or handhelds or anything like that. Remember, Xbox also uses computers, and they have a lot, like with the Microsoft in the computer systems. Right. If you are stepping back from hardware, that has just thrown Sony into the most current and biggest console there is out there.
As it has always been.
I don't know. I'm mixed emotions about it. And here's why. First off, when we started with game consoles, we had the OG Nintendo. That was our first console growing up as kids. Then we went to Genesis. Right. And then we went to PlayStation. Right. And we had PlayStation for a while. And then my brother had a GameCube. And then we went to Xbox for a while. And then we went back to PlayStation. Right. So I have a little bit mixed emotions because I'm not going to lie. I was very much a diehard PlayStation fan until we got the Xbox, and I was so refused. I so refused to play it. I was like, nah, I'm not an Xbox person. But then we ended up getting a whole bunch of games on Xbox, and I became a fan. It took me a minute to get a hold of the controller is different than a PlayStation, whatever the case might be. So I'll be like, whatever. Now I had to hop back into the PlayStation realm, especially when 5 came out. We were one of the, in that mix.
Very few that got it, like, those first few weeks.
Thanks to our good friend.
You go, girl.
Yeah. And we managed to get 2. So pray for us. But anyway, I've been back on the PlayStation band, and it's been interesting playing retro games, new games, all of that. But now to say, I'm not saying I'm against Xbox at any point. Like, I just haven't played with the latest on the latest console that they did come out with, and I have seen it because, again, my partner has one.
My partner has one as
well. He honestly doesn't play on it as much as he does his PlayStation.
Correct.
But, he was ready to sell that sucker because he was just like, I am sticking with PlayStation. Okay, cool. But now to say that there's going to be no console at all, and you're going to be going through a third party, and don't get me wrong, I'm just saying, like, I've been watching a lot of TikToks where people have been transforming laptops into Xboxes and PlayStations and stuff like that. So I guess I could kind of see where they're saying, like, well, people are building these laptops, these portable. I mean, PlayStation just came out with a handheld portable, so they're like, what's the point of us making a console if people are going to make their own version of us? I don't know. I feel like it's weird.
I don't know, because I've always had PlayStation hands. And that's just
You're already like Xbox Deuce. Like,
Yeah,
it's all
like, I'm
good.
just-
You was never in the game to begin with.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, because at a point, we did have all the consoles. And,
Right.
with my little brother, it was like, he was just like everybody else. I need the Xbox. I need my PlayStation. I was like, fuck what you heard. I just want my PlayStation. And I've always had a PlayStation up until recently where I didn't get the 5. And yeah, I know. Shut up.
Look, no, don't. I'm not even hating. It's not cheap. So
No,
I
absolutely.
understand.
And I'm a sale princess.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'm catching it at the low.
Yeah.
All right, where all the bugs out.
I understand.
But that little baby PlayStation though, that's
you.
clutch. I might get that first.
It's a cute little thing.
No, but like my brother had it. So like, of course I learned how to play, but like I learned how to play Halo and like racing games.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really like it would never be my main console to just like do everything on.
Yeah.
And like I just prefer the PlayStation. I've always been on PlayStation.
But this is the thing. There was always this battle of the Xbox exclusives versus the PlayStation exclusives. You're now going to tell me that all of these Xbox exclusives are going to go straight to PlayStation. Sony is going to corner the market in consoles.
You think so?
I
Well,
think
in hardware, yeah.
What else is going against a Sony PlayStation at this moment?
Yep. I'll wait.
All right, we have Nintendo it comes out great with their handhelds. The Switch is a major contender in handhelds. Okay, so a Switch will always be that. There's no one that can take that away from Nintendo. They have their basics. They have Mario. They have Pokemon. That's who they got. It is what it is. But if you are talking consoles, Xbox and PlayStation have been doing this dance for over 15 years.
I think it's just the evolution right now. I mean, there's so many compared to back in the day where, even just recently, there's so many like emulators. You know what I'm saying? And I know that what you're saying is what's going to be the best competition against Sony now. And most likely they are just going to curb the market at this point if Xbox decides to take a dip. But it's like, if I'm able to get all the same games on a PlayStation, or if I'm able to get all the same games on an emulator, what does a console really mean to me? What is it really giving me that I can't get on my own or through someone else? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen this, and like I said, we've seen this ourselves. Even this, like, for the holidays, we got this
Gamebox 5.
Gamebox. It's been on TikTok. Definitely look it up. It's called Gamebox 5.
Oh, snap.
It literally looks like a tiny PlayStation, but it's a face station because it's not real. It's a fake PlayStation. But it's the cutest thing, and it has about 3,500
games.
Yeah,
but
on
they're
it.
old school games. They're very low quality, arcade games. You're not gonna get big name Final Fantasy games.
And some 90s because there was some like Bomberman on there. I was really impressed.
Banjo Kazooie.
I'm sorry, Bomberman was my game as a kid. You can tell me nothing about Bomberman.
But you're not gonna get Jack and Daxter. You're not gonna get
Ratchet and Clank.
You're not gonna get these.
You're gonna get like
games.
really old school Street Fighter, like not like new graphics.
Old stuff.
Yeah. But people who like retro games, especially retro computer games, even like the retro games on our flip phones back in the day. That's just aging me right now. But flip phones, they have it all on there on this emulator. But again, people are you could get an emulator and get all the games of today.
Correct.
Do you get what I'm saying? You can get an emulator and just build it yourself. You know what I'm saying? People are building their own.
Once you have a Raspberry Pi
stations.
OS, you're gonna be fine.
So,
their own consoles.
So if you think about it, right, like PlayStation will be the biggest console.
Right.
However, that leaves a little bit more playroom for Xbox to be the biggest gaming software.
It could be.
And that's when it's like, damn, like...
But this is the thing. Xbox also is going... With Xbox being within the PC realm, if you take it that way, you have Steam. Everyone's on Steam, okay? Steam has so many games. Pal World, it has all of these indie games, all of these things that people actually play. That's where Microsoft was also doing a lot of their things.
Yeah.
Because all of the Xbox games you can play on PC once you have a Game Pass. Mm-hmm. Now you're telling me I got to spend more money?
No, I don't think so. No. Because if you think about it, at that point, you know, somebody out there in the Xbox industry is gonna put 1 and 3 together, and they're gonna be 6. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but like it's you know, they're going to intertwine with whatever's the biggest going on.
Right. Yeah.
So essentially, like
they may
still
not
gonna be
they may not be producing their own consoles. Doesn't mean that they're not going to team up with somebody to produce a good console.
Which you're right, because the software could kill it in the market.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at, I'm sorry, but Windows computers, in my opinion, go against an Apple all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because
customability of an
be careful.
Is crazy.
First off, like Lenovo's been coming out with some banging laptops.
Cool, but it still uses a Windows OS.
It does, but yeah, they curve the market when it comes to Windows, the programming. I'm not going to say no, but you know, like when it comes to where you're housing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Remember, once upon a time, Dell used to be the laptop of choice or the desktop of choice. You know,
well, I still vouch for Dell, not for nothing, because all of my desktops, all of my laptops have been Dell, and even I have about a 2-year 2-in-1 Dell laptop. And even with the most current updates, like it's still on top. Like on top.
It's just going.
Yeah. And I was really big in, tech stuff.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I was very
Sponsor
much.
Us.
Look, I remember going to school and coming home with a Dell, and it was my, we had Dell desktops here at the house. I mean, that was our thing. But now, as we grow older and you learn more about what is more efficient, what's faster, what is giving you the productivity or the best gaming or the best business, or you're going to pick a laptop that's going to support that. And I've had Lenovo for about 2 years now. It's been an amazing laptop. And I've even looked at some Acer. The Acer has been coming out with some banging laptops.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys seen like the and this is not to derive, but the laptops now that they just released or are about to drop, they just had it at a one of those shows, and it has it's a 2-screen laptop where the keyboard comes off. You put it in the front and you can use both screens, and it's touch screen, and use both screens to do work. One could be doing one thing, one could be doing another. It's like it's like the new phones where you got the flip phones or you got the open phones, and it could do more than one thing.
And the fold.
Yeah, the flip and fold. It's wild, and I'm just like, that's fire. And the speed on it. It's also got Intel. It's Windows.
Intel i9 version 9s now. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So it's like, I understand like what you're saying about Windows curved the market. It's always going against Apple. Those two are always going to compete. But now you also have to think, where are you housing those programs? It's the console. It's the laptop. It's the desktop that matters, right? What's going to give me? Yes, it may be curve the market in that sense, but I'm also thinking what's going to give me the best productivity for those programs, right? So if we're talking about PlayStation and Xbox, if Xbox is like, well, we're not building these consoles anymore, but we're going to still have our programming. Okay, now I have to think, for an Xbox, what is the best console that's going to house this program to give me what I need out of it?
Right.
Now, that's the question. Do you think that they would partner up with PlayStation, knowing that PlayStation already has their own cloud system?
Hell no.
Here's
see, because Xbox could honestly go straight PC.
They could,
and then have that whole cloud
but
system.
Then what's the point then? It's just PlayStation.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? This is where I feel like it's Xbox. What kind of marketing technique are you using right now, sir? Because the way that these theories are being thrown out into space.
These are definitely theories. Yeah. This just happened like yesterday.
Yeah, and like, cause come on, All right.
There's no
So
point
when
in
you think
Xbox.
about it, like, it's like it would be bub kiss if Xbox and PlayStation signed together. Like, in my opinion, because like PlayStation is superior, but
and that honestly, towards everybody, that is a matter of opinion.
Right.
But you have to think. I'm thinking of console wars.
no, yeah.
So who is PlayStation gonna honestly go against at this point?
They're not going to go against anyone. And what I'm saying, you're saying console wars, but it's also, I feel like it isn't just about console, because you can house programs in anything at this point.
Everyone is going to always think of it as console wars, because the console wars have been going on forever, ever. Amen. You're talking about Dreamcast. You're talking about Genesis.
I think it'll die. Honestly,
and that's the sad part that
I think it's just going to, but that's just the development of technology. That's just the progression of technology. I expect that at some point we're not even going to have these big consoles anymore. You're just going to end up having it just like a phone, where you just flip it at one point, or it's just a scanner, or it's just like anything that it's simple. Press a button and there it is. Your games are on there. You get what I'm saying? Like, look, you have the PlayStation Portal, the portable, the handheld. Portal. You know what I'm saying? And literally, you can be anywhere and playing your PlayStation. I've seen my partner pull out his laptop. You've done it, where you pull out your laptop and you're still playing PlayStation. So really, it's not even about consoles. Consoles at this point, if Xbox does what it does, it's going to make consoles realize that it's going to be obsolete and we don't need consoles to play our games. So there won't be a war. It's literally going to be a downfall.
We have to wait and see, because you also, I have to say, because we're talking about technology in this point. If you guys have seen the new Apple, you've most likely seen it.
I've seen everything on Apple.
Apple Gear Pro.
Yeah.
Those glasses, the VR glasses. It's like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or Oculus.
They're saying it's better than the Oculus.
Well,
I can't say
it's Meta now.
Okay, the Meta. Sorry, Meta.
Because you still have the Oculus, but not the Meta.
No, it is Meta. It got updated to Meta.
Oh, it's Meta. There you go.
I don't know, because you can do your phone calls and everything on this thing. Price tag is astronomical.
Yeah,
at almost $4,000.
Yeah, and it's just, this device is proving that this thing that we have, this Meta, which they've we have the first version Oculus, which has now shrunken because it is smaller in size and it's smaller on your face, to the new Meta that it has, is going to end up looking like a pair of glasses pretty soon, the way that they're developing what they're developing.
Did Google already do that and it was shot down so quickly?
It wasn't you know what, it was too early.
Yeah,
I think it wasn't. I don't think the world at the time was ready for it.
Absolutely not. And the way that it was marketed was the way it was marketed was too real for people.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was way too real for people, especially when they marketed those glasses recording as they marketed those glasses recording someone, those glasses recording a woman in a domestic violence relationship. And that there too kind of made it crumble, because then it's like, you're targeting a very big portion of the community or world. Yeah. Because realistically, you can say every other person is like in some kind of relationship like that. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying in very close in vicinity, but someone knows of someone in that kind of thing. And when that came out, it was like, damn, like that really fucked it up for Google. Yeah. Honestly. And I'm not saying that, because it's showing realism. Yeah. But because it showed realism and people can't handle realism, like it really just dropped right off. Yeah. Just like, did you guys ever hear about the Apple Bangle?
I don't remember that.
There was a prototype that was the Apple Bangle. And the Apple Bangle, which very few people actually remember this, was supposed to do everything your phone did as a bangle. Yeah, and it looked like a regular Cartier bangle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like it was like kind of like the watch, but it was
right. But it wasn't going to show you a notification like with your text message. It would probably be like, look at your phone. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like, something simple.
Yeah. But that fell right off.
Yeah. No,
No, I don't think people were ready for the glasses, honestly, because it's an invasion of privacy without letting people know that there's this thing happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that was one. Plus, it was becoming a distraction. I think people would be watching one thing and they're walking or driving or doing something, and then they're getting into accidents. They're getting into some situations. Right. And it was just like...
Or the guy driving his Tesla fucking with his glasses. Yeah.
Right. So it was like they weren't. It was a hazard. So I think it wasn't. I don't think people were ready at the time. But now we're in a day and age post pandemic. AI is crazy blowing up right now. The way it's going, and I think technology is just advancing so much that it's just like. They're a little bit more ready to start bringing out these things. So I honestly, I think Xbox is trying something, and I don't know if it will work or if it won't work. I guess we'll find out. But if it is to the point of people are accepting that, you know what, I don't need a console to play my games anymore, it might be the downfall of consoles altogether.
I mean, you got to take it as that too, because a lot of games now are downloadable.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Once you got that cloud connectivity and everything else,
and you have a place to put them.
You got the hard drive, ain't nothing.
Like I said, we got this tiny little thing here, this small version of a PlayStation 5.
We'll put that up on our
with 35,000 games on it. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. But then it makes sense that I don't need to go anywhere. I got it. It's this small. So if I can have it in this, I don't need the big one.
Right.
And that was, we have no idea. It was a gift, but it probably wasn't as expensive as the bigger version. Wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
So, having these emulators emulators have been around for a really long time, especially with, like, I had a old school emulator for my Game Boy.
Yeah.
So back in the day, the R4s, if the old schoolers know about that, you downloaded your games, you got them for free, you played your games. It is what it is. Are they going to become more sophisticated? What is Xbox going to do? That's the real, that's the idea.
I think it's just figuring out what Xbox is going to do and how it's going to continue to compete against PlayStation. And then when it comes to quote unquote being available to play their platform.
I think that's what it is the availability of play.
Yeah, it is. It
is. Because rest in peace E3,
Oh man.
I'm sorry, it was the gasp.
Man, when they said no more E3.
Oh, that hurt.
I always wanted to go, and now it's like
we've watched religiously for so many years.
It's gone.
R.I.P. E3.
It was like a gamer's
paradise.
Because that's where you saw all the new games, the new trailers, the new consoles, the new stuff, and now to turn around and be like, it's gone now. What was it? I think it was last year. Sony did their own thing.
Yeah, they did. They did their state of play.
Yeah,
they did the state of play.
Yeah,
and usually that comes out through E3, and usually it's that's what we get. But
yeah. But
so
not this.
It is what it is.
I guess they're all going to be doing their own thing now, I suppose. So
wait and see. It's his new development. So how do you guys feel about this? Gone of the Xbox hardware and console wars and even old school emulators. Do you feel like you're gonna maybe go back to PCs and do your gaming? Let us know in the comments.
All right. That was quite an interesting topic, especially for all my gamer fans out there. So, yeah. Moving on, we are going to hit up the CCC.
Criss Cross Conspiracy Corner.
All right, y'all. So I sounded real country.
Hey.
Back it up, girl. All right. So, we're going to talk about something scary.
Okay.
We're going to talk about some historical facts. It's based on a true story. And it actually is coming out sometime this year, if not is already out, on movie in theaters. Sorry, Lake Lanier.
Okay.
And I actually wasn't familiar with this story until recently. And Lake Lanier is one of the spookiest man-made lakes. It's also I believe, one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, man-made lake.
Okay.
Where is it located?
It is located. It's in Georgia.
Oh, damn.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, guess where I won't be visiting in Georgia.
Right, baby. Right. So, the reason this lake is spooky, because if you don't know, now you know, is because this lake is not just any man-made lake randomly. Actually, before it became a lake, it actually was, or a big portion of it was the Oakville town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a predominantly black town. And the story behind what happened to this specific town is a young white girl was found in the woods and was SA'd and, murdered or unalived. And because this, white girl or white teenage girl was found by Oakville town, and during that time frame, which, was which was somewhere in the 1950s.
That's still recent.
Yeah. So, eventually, because you have a lot of segregation and racism,
Mm-hmm.
the people in the town were basically ran out of their own town. And they were not asked permission. They were not given, muffin baskets with warm welcomes. No, the way that they got everyone out of this town is in, a very terrifying, gruesome way. They charged, I believe, 2 to 3 young black men to trial. And now this story happened September 8th. These 2 to 3 men were hanged and lynched, or lynched and hanged by September 23rd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, no time span. And it's a very sad story. And, but that was the beginning of Lake Lanier. And what happened, following that is eventually a dam or wall was built, creating Lake Lanier. However, the lake is from Oaksville and it goes up north through Georgia.
Okay.
And Oaksville actually wasn't the only town or predominantly black town that was affected. There were several other towns that were flooded out, basically. And so essentially you're sitting on, and people are not allowed to swim here. And they open this like a beach. Yeah. And you're not allowed to swim there because there's so many deaths there.
Oh, my.
It's insane.
Oh, my.
Okay. And a lot of people believe that the legend is that anyone who swims there drowns and dies. And people believe that if you're of, melanin, it's considered a hate crime for you to have died or drowned in it. And it's not all people that believe that specific thing, but I have heard a couple of videos of people saying it with that kind of theory behind it.
Right.
However, in any case, no matter who's gone swimming in it, white, black, red, yellow, purple, you're drowning.
Oh.
Yeah. And what nobody realizes, and I think that there's a lot of failure to realize that because you potentially flooded over 16 plus cemeteries, buildings, schools,
to make this lake.
Right, to make this lake and to cover up black towns.
Yeah.
Thriving towns.
Yeah, they were all thriving. And, excuse me. And you still opened it like a beach and just said no swimming. Without, without people realizing, because...
The reason why.
Right, the reason and the history behind it.
Yeah.
And imagine, you're swimming in a lake that has trees that you can't see.
There's a whole town.
Right.
There's a whole school.
Underneath.
There's
And
houses.
You're getting caught.
There's family.
Right, there's boats, there's cars, there's... You know what I'm
People.
saying? Yeah.
Were the people actually allowed to leave, or did people drown and die due to this damming?
So... What they've written is that there were no people by the time they did this dam.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't believe it.
I'm Santa Claus.
Right. And I'm Batman. But, the way that... Because, hear me out. Because I know you're going to agree with me. There's no way... when you see this map see this lake on the map, you have 3 plus 6 plus completely black owned towns that they just left because you know what I'm saying? No, that wasn't how that went.
No.
They got pushed out of their homes.
Just like a lot of people, like the Native Americans, whenever there's any kind of gentrification, it's people being pushed out because of prices, or not because they want to, or because of terror, or vandalism and stuff. It's not a choice.
Yeah, and then you have people that really believe that the people in these towns were asked to just do you want to leave? No, I don't want to leave. Right.
It's like somebody coming over and be like, so do you just want to...
You just want to pack up your house and just
just
leave? No money or anything. Your family lived in this town
no incentive.
Your whole life.
Do you just want to leave? And you're like, what? Yeah.
Nobody went just, you know what? Let's just ask everybody if we can make a lake here. Because that's not what we did. No. And
it sounds more like a cover up.
Absolutely. And I believe a lot of it is a cover up.
Yeah.
And just to know... And it's not that I'm surprised that this happened during an era like that. I'm disgusted at how far people went to take homes away from so many people just trying to live.
Right.
And and then Oprah, she has from way back when, she has her little show. I don't think it was an actual Oprah show. Airing, but it was some kind of event or
it was a special or something.
Yeah.
And
you have this man who is a white man, and his grandfather sees this happen to these poor men, these children, getting hanged and lynched, to then carry through his family a fear of black people, which is so cruel, and it's not fair, it's unjustified, it's disgusting for him to later on go to college and his whole life fear them, to realize that they are just as human as everyone else.
Yep.
Only everybody still bleeds red.
Right. Right.
And it's crazy because, like you said, it was a thriving town. It was a town that was successful. It just happened to be a lot of black people who made this town doing their own thing, minding their own business. And they've been terrorized. They've been killed. They have been murdered. And God could only, whatever else happened,
just
for their whole town to be wiped out because you didn't like them. for whatever reason was happening, and you want to associate it with this case,
Right.
this murder case, and instead of doing your due diligence, it's just easier to take, blame somebody, and then just at that point, well, they've got to go. Mind you, you're coming from your own town
Yep.
to come to their town to terrorize them. Like, it's like, we can't win. You
Yep.
don't want us in your town, so we make our own town.
Yep.
Then you make your own town. That's terrible too.
Right.
So you can't have it either. So we're gonna destroy it as well.
Yep.
And it's like there's a no win-win situation here.
Right.
I mean, right now we're in Black History Month,
Mm-hmm.
and of course we think about and we talk about and we experience, all of the freedom fighters and the activists and those who suffered and those who came across and made their way, who created so many things that we have in this world and who they don't get the credit for. And to hear this story and know that there's a man-made, this isn't an earth-made,
Right.
this isn't a God-made, this isn't a Mother Nature-made, this isn't nature creating, this is a man-made lake to cover up a thriving Black town. And I always wondered nowadays, with the amount of money that a lot of people have and a lot of money that people have created or whatever the case may be, I was like, how come there isn't another town, another Black town, instead of certain areas in certain parts of the world, another town, everyone have a town or something, not to say that we need to, but then it's based off history.
It's based off fear.
And yeah,
It's fear that if, someone does say, oh, yes, we're going to make a thriving town. And then, sorry, great grandpappy says, I'm going to just warn you right now.
they're not going to like
Don't
it.
do it.
And you know what's crazy?
People not going to like it.
You know what's crazy? That lake supplies water for Georgia.
Ah,
Yeah.
don't drink the water in Georgia.
Too late.
But-
Too late.
Yeah. How you going to tell people not to drink the water? I mean, it ain't New York water.
It ain't New York
How you
water.
going to tell people not to drink the water in
How
Georgia?
does racism taste?
Oof.
Oh,
Lord.
and look, but the cemeteries and the everything that's
Right.
under there, and that is being the water that's supplied to the schools and everything in Georgia.
Right.
Oh, come on.
And imagine
Get you some Poland spray.
that lake is 38,000 acres long.
Oh my God.
It's massive.
Yeah. It holds 1 trillion gallons of water.
Yeah.
Man-made. And then when it rains, it just fills back up.
And you're cycling.
Wow. That's crazy.
The history that's...
That's under there. I feel like if they ever want to prosper or if they ever want to... I mean, I could have understood, not even understand. I still don't understand any of it. I'm sorry to say I understand. I don't understand any of it. Just being so hateful to just doing what they did. But why couldn't they just demolish it instead of just sinking it? Because that's what you did. You sank
And
a
you
whole
sank
town and you
history.
wiped
them from the map.
Yeah.
and the people who are buried there, who are there, they're there
Thousands
underwater.
of years.
Yep.
No, not even thousands of years. It was
No.
like 1950.
It's
Right.
almost 100 years.
Right, but
So,
what if my great-grandpappy's cemetery was down there?
Like,
You know what
you
I'm
can never
saying?
visit it.
Never.
You can never visit it
Never.
because
It's under... I need a
wherein he expected to be resting in peace in the ground, he rested in peace under the water. That's wild.
Oh.
You know? And the thing about it is, it's like one thing to say, okay, that the world's, we're sinking slowly because, the water's
And the waters
growing
are
and
growing.
erosion and stuff. That's natural disasters. This is a man-made situation that could have been avoided.
Yeah, and then to market it as a paradise? For who?
Not for me.
Because of the fact that... Because not for nothing. How is it a paradise? Because you're haunted.
Regardless, you're haunted.
You're haunted.
As soon as you stepped a big toe,
Yeah.
Stepped
Yeah.
a big toe. You mean as soon as you drove? It's
Towards that
38
place, right.
acres of
Anything.
water.
No, babe. 38,000.
38,000 acres. No. The fact that I'm even heading towards there and I parked my car. No,
that's asking for trouble.
I don't play with that, and I don't play with spirits like that at all. And I feel for that whole situation.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
That it's sad, and that nothing's been rectified in all this time due to that. That's the crazier part. Oof.
Oh no, that hurt.
That breaks my heart.
It really does.
That hurt.
And it's a lot because it's the month we're in to this, talking about it. And then we recently literally just had the Grammys, and there was that whole revelation about a lot of a lot of black artists got awarded this time, but it's still not being recognized for the right stuff. I mean, Jay-Z had to come out and say what he said on behalf of his wife. I don't know if you guys know what's her first name, but Chapman. She just finally got recognized on iTunes to have her song after all these years finally at number 1.
Oh wow.
Finally. Mind you, how many people have sang her song and got credit and awarded Grammys for it, and she never did? And it was it's just crazy that this is what's happening, that people have to now get recognized for things that they've done in the past or not acknowledged at all. So,
you're talking about Tracy Chapman?
Tracy Chapman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one who was saying Fast Car.
Yep.
I love that song.
Yep. But I remember, I was like, when that song came out, I think who sang
Somebody covered it.
They covered it, and it was all over the radio.
It went crazy.
Yeah. All over the radio. She said, and I remember hearing this song before. I was like, I've heard this song. Why is it coming back out again? Just to, I was like, oh, somebody re-sang the song. Not knowing that the original artist never got true credit for her own song. And now she finally is getting her due diligence.
Luke Combs.
Yeah, she's finally getting recognized.
He's a great singer. And all he wanted to do was cover the song because he liked the song.
Right.
And it ended up on the radio.
Yep. So it's pretty interesting how that's happening, but it's sad to hear things like this, and then there's still there's no rectifying it. It's like, why does it have to take years, and does it have to take people speaking up to acknowledge these things? I mean, there's still a lot of changes that need to happen, but that one's going. Well, Georgia, I was gonna make a visit. I'm still gonna make a visit. I got fams out there. But that's one spot I won't be visiting.
I will not be visiting.
Yeah.
I will not be visiting.
And it's drying up, so...
let it dry.
Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe something needs to show up for people to recognize what's going on over here.
And Absolutely. This movie already came out?
Yep. It came out in 2023.
Oh, last year.
Yeah. And we finna watch it because I heard some stuffs. But...
Okay.
All right.
Be more excited, y'all.
I'm trying to get in there. It's just like it's February. It's the love month, so I ain't trying to get too scary,
baby.
But I love scary movies.
It's the Love Black History Month.
I love horrors all the time.
Yes, true. I just finished a whole thing. So
we did.
But I thought that was very fascinating. It is heartbreaking, absolutely, because that's a piece of history that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
And as that lake does dry up, there's going to be a lot more questions, and there's going to be a lot more
revelations.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Georgia, y'all should have made this lake somewhere else more respectable.
Yeah.
But moving on to Sister Soldier.
Tell us how you guys feel about Lake Lanier.
Yes.
Would you visit? Like, would you think about stepping your big toe in there? Mm-hmm. Would you swim? Knowing the history behind it. I wouldn't even step my car
up in there. Are you crazy?
Fine, mind you, I just saw there's a Margaritaville Lake Lanier. So it's totally a tourist attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what would you do?
Not stay there. That's for sure.
And the Vigil family owns it too.
Oh, wow. Even worse. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thanks, Crisscross, for that.
Yeah.
It's food for thought, especially this time of the month. It's definitely a lot to think about. All right. So, I wanted to ask y'all.
I'm ready.
No, just again, picking your brains. Can a side chick become the main chick?
Never.
And this also means just side pieces in general. So I was watching a video, and I wanna okay, if a lot of you know, I always talk about Let's Talk cards, and it's created by Ace Metaphor. He also does a tour. It's called Let's Have a Conversation, and so they've been going different places, different states with this tour, and a lot of people go out there and they ask them questions. So this one woman asked a question about she has been the side piece for 7 years.
7 years, baby.
You ain't it, babe.
And so she wants to know if she could ever be the main.
Hell no.
After 7 years, he ain't showed you what your role was.
Ma'am, after 4 months, you should have known.
So I had to take a minute and go.
That's a whole baby age.
I had to
And she probably ain't got the baby.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So I took a minute to just think about that, and I was like, I gotta ask. So I gotta ask, what's going on with that? Can you even possibly go from
Let me explain.
side
Hell
piece
no.
to main chick?
Okay. I think there is a way. But I don't. After 7 years, look, I've been watching a lot of what's it called?
Snapped?
No,
90 Day Fiance. 90 Day Fiance.
no, I've been watching that too. But no. I've been watching Caught in the Act.
Okay.
All right,
That's a new one.
It's Caught in the Act. It's on MTV.
Oh yes. We were watching that. Yeah.
So a lot of these people are the side pieces.
Yeah.
That have, and they still always go back to the main.
Yes.
All right.
Why you ain't learn?
It's like cheaters.
It's like cheaters.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they always go back to the main.
Yeah.
Why you don't got a side piece? Side piece?
Right. If you
'Cause
know,
7 years.
Let me explain something.
Right?
If you know you the side piece,
Yeah.
you should be getting your side piece on.
Facts.
Or you should be living your best life.
Living your
if
best life.
Because honestly, you're not anybody's main chick. Clearly not his. So this is just it's kind of like a part-time job for you. This is just, when it's around, you handle it. And then when it's not around, you do you. Right?
That's
Right? I was just for her to even approach that, and their response to her was kind of like, well, why would you want to be the main chick?
at this point you're
You
happy
gotta
in your
feel
7
bad
years.
for the main chick, because she's
No,
got to
no.
deal with him coming home, feeding him, cleaning for him, washing for him, doing for him. She's the one that has to listen to him. What are you getting other than him coming over, doing what he got to do, and being out?
leaving.
Nothing. Nothing. That's what she getting. Because first of all, why are you the side piece for 7 years?
7
Because
years.
bro, 6 months, 8 months, all right.
A year maybe.
But you're doing
If we
you.
get to a year and I'm still a side piece and you're still making these dead ass promises, let me tell you something. Back up. Rewind, skedat. No, because for 7 years you haven't belonged to nobody and you're stuck on somebody.
Right. Thank you.
Back it up.
Because
and
Yeah.
some scenarios, first of all, some scenarios at a certain point, you gotta just nip it in the butt.
yeah.
You really gotta just stop and look at yourself and say, all right, this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm gonna be your side piece, I got 2 different phones, one for the plug and one for the hose.
No, but he
Because-
should never ever think that you're his only.
Right.
You should never.
You should have
Absolutely.
never given him that much power.
Yeah.
Right. You shouldn't even be asking a question about 7 years later because he was just a name on a roster. He should have been cycled out.
Out already.
Yeah.
Or he hit me up 2 months later. Hey, what's up?
Right.
But you in love, babe. You in love for 7 years.
Right? Like, so another situation that I'm thinking about because I follow this artist. So Neo. I love Neo, but you know, he had his wife, and I think they're going through a divorce right now. Yes, because he cheated.
Stupid.
But mind you, he cheated with another woman and had two kids with this woman. Two kids with this woman. So, because now he started talking, not just about the kids that he had before his wife, then the kids with his wife, current wife. Then he started adding two kids. And it was like, oh, and these kids are babies. So I'm like, so your side chick, because you ain't never made her your main.
Right.
But she had two kids for you.
So you weren't stupid once. You were stupid twice.
And they're not twins.
No.
So, yes. They're
you
not
were stupid twice. I have faith in you, Neo.
Right. So that was my thing. I was like, she had to have held out for him.
For at least 2 years.
For at least 2 years. For you to not have been his main. Still been his side piece, but you had kids with him.
But she knew.
So what are you going to do now? Still be his side? Or wait? Or are you going to wait for him to make you your main? Like, make you his main? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know their situation. I just know of that. Let
me explain something.
Nah, not my husband getting some bitch pregnant twice.
Yo.
Because the way Neo side.
Right?
But it's like, you know how I feel? That's like a Nick Cannon situation. All right? Make everybody know.
Has a God
you
complex.
Is not.
Yeah.
You is. This is a. We having fun.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. But all of them know.
All of them know.
Yeah. I think after Mariah, he was like, I ain't gonna have no main chick ever. I'm just gonna have sides.
I'm gonna just have fun.
He's trying to build a legacy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
12 kids. He said that on the
12
interview.
kids, I believe.
Yeah.
What, 12 kids deep? He's all
no,
like,
I think we 14.
14. But ain't none of them is his main.
None.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He don't walk around claiming not one of them.
No.
I give it to him though, because holidays, I don't know how he's doing that.
Did you see Christmas?
Yeah.
Man was in all
everybody's house.
He was in all. You know what blows me away? What blew me away, right? Is that he has, the maternity shoot for every pregnancy.
Right?
All of them.
On lock.
And they get better and better.
Right? And it's like, they're like, okay, this is your day. This is your day. This is your day. I'm going to wear this. You going to wear this. And they got...
I know y'all all call each other. Y'all have to because these niggas gotta be together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got to.
Especially the ones that are like born really close to date.
Months apart. Months apart.
I could never hear that.
You can't... Okay, you can't fault his game though because look, we all looking at him questioning like how big this tribe gonna be, but cause bruh, your pockets gotta be massive.
Every while and all these girl.
Kids. No, but what I'm saying is like he don't claim none of them. He don't walk around and be like, this is my chick, and then go behind her back,
not at
hitting up all these other chicks. He not claiming any of them, so all of them will always be
a side chick,
right? So,
but she know her role.
Until he decides again, if he decides ever, I want to make this my main chick. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I was Mariah, right? Maybe nobody else.
So what I'm saying is, this is not the situation I'm talking about because I'm talking about a partner who's with someone, but they got a side, and this side is thinking, when am I gonna be your main?
Well, that's also a conversation you should have had. You should have had that conversation. And after the excuses, you should have, I'm sorry, had the confidence to put your own foot down and be like, I can't.
But that's why I have to agree with Criss. Like, you can't be past the year talking about I'm still gonna be your side chick or I'm waiting to be your main.
Right, because I'm not. Not me, babe. Because you're not gonna finna tell me I'm finna leave her.
Right.
The first time you said that to me, I didn't even believe you because you did what you did with me
Or you're doing with me what you did to her.
Right. Because, but like the second I found out about her, it's a wrap. It's done. Because,
unless you already knew.
No, I never. Let me tell you something. I haven't been in a situation where I knew that somebody had somebody. I was sleeping with somebody that had somebody. That I consciously knew about? No. That's not my swag. That's not how I do, because I know what that is, to get your heart shattered.
Yeah.
Finding out somebody's cheating on you.
Of course.
I know what it is to have, you know what I'm saying? To be that girl.
Yeah.
To be that girl. I've been that girl several times, and it's heartbreaking. It's disgusting. Like, whatever. Don't get me wrong. I've played,
everybody played their game.
Right. I'm no saint. I'll always be a sinner. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I have been a cheater. But cheating has not entered my adult life. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I can't sit there and purposely sleep around behind somebody's back and break their heart. If I'm gonna sleep around, I might as well be single. That's what.
Might as well.
Right, but can you see her like? I understand what you're saying. You would never cheat with somebody who already know. This chick knew, because clearly you wouldn't be asking, how do I go from being a side chick to the main chick? Like, you know your partner or this person you're with got somebody.
And where's the main chick? Because how you been low this long?
Yo,
Let me know.
That was the next question I was going to ask. I was like, 7 years. And she don't know about you?
his bills?
She don't know about you?
Right.
Right.
No, she know.
Like, there's a lot of questions going on with that.
No, she know.
There's a lot going on with that.
She know.
She can know. Because I would be in jail.
There was no way that was getting to 7 years, because I'm dragging you down the block.
Right? I'm dragging him, and I'm dragging you.
Both of y'all.
Because you know about me. But you supposed to be with me, and you're supposed to be hustling with me, and you're supposed to be next to me. And
right, and you're making me look crazy?
Right.
Never.
Right. But when she asked the question, and okay, so the only reason I also put it is because I know of one of our friends who went through a situation, and found out her partner was cheating on her, and they got a divorce, they got kids, but he definitely made that side his main,
because he's dumb. Because he's dumb. And this is, if you cheat, if you cheat with somebody, right, regardless of what it is, the person cheating truly needs to ask themselves what it is that you're looking for. And 9 times out of 10, it's the excitement.
Yes.
And it's very rare that you ever hear, I was the side chick and it worked out, where I trust him, he trusts me. We have 4 kids, a house, a car, or this or that. We're living the American dream.
Right.
Most of the time I hear, he's crazy. He's always on my back, blowing up my phone, doing this, that, and the third. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Leave me alone.
Right. That's your fault. And now you're paranoid because you fucked up a relationship.
Right.
And now you're scared. Why? Because you were just a friend. You were just a secretary. You were just a coworker.
Yep.
You were just a client.
Yeah.
Because that's how the world works, right? It's a cycle. So now you're sitting here paranoid, and he might be faithful to you. Like, why should he be faithful to you when you're a trash tail Barbie?
There you go. Like you said, it's very rare. And another situation just popped up while you were talking, and I was just like, it's very rare, but this one's public, and all I can say is King Charles.
His side piece became the main.
Everybody hates her.
You see what I mean?
I'ma always be Princess Diana.
100%.
Love you, babe.
Yeah, that was that. It just hit me while you was talking about it, as like you said, because it's when you said it's rare, and it is rare for anybody, man or woman, whatever you are, to claim someone who was just a quick hot minute.
Look, but if we honest, because I'm such a royal head, okay? Diana was actually the side piece. He just had to marry her. Going it back in history, she was actually the side piece that he had to make the main. Camilla was too old.
She was married too.
Yes, there was a lot of things that was going on. There was a lot of factors. Camilla. Diana was the side piece, but it was chosen. She was chosen because she was the better match.
I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Look, historically, this is history.
I get what you're saying and alluding to. I understand. But once he got married,
it should have ended.
That was it.
It should have ended.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
should have ended.
There is no side piece. And I don't want to say Diana because she came into this unknowingly. Mm-hmm. And so
and all she wanted was her happiness.
Right. Yep. And so I don't want to say she was the side piece. I get what you're trying to say, though. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I know.
But I'm also saying I don't want to say that because it makes it sound like, what it sounds like.
If you want to know the background to the royals family, please watch The Crown. A lot of it is historically accurate. I'm just going to put that out there for anyone that just, don't take our words for it all the time. Watch The Crown.
I feel you. I get where you're coming. Yeah.
It's just, look. It's very, and you're right. It's rare. Mm-hmm. Very rare. Because look, let me say, we going to head back to Neo. He ain't claim her.
He didn't.
She got these 2 little kids. By him.
I still don't even know who she is. Honestly,
we really don't.
I didn't look up. All I know was wifey was like, "Get the heck up! I'm done." And all of a sudden, these 2 little ones popped up out of nowhere, and I was like, "Oh damn, he real messed up."
They just can't wrap it up no more. But real quick, circling back to Princess Diana.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't care. You know why? Because the dream she was sold regardless. Mm-hmm. She did everything she had to do in the position that she was given.
Yes,
100%.
There you go.
I will never see her as a side piece, and she didn't need to be done. Absolutely not. Right. She didn't need to be done dirty the way that she did.
Exactly.
And never get to see her kids live their lives and be who they are now. They would have been completely different characters.
Yeah,
100%.
Completely different characters. Yeah. And like the things that she took. The stress you put on her, and then the day that she picked herself up and said, "You know what? I'm gonna address it." Because I watched that interview, and she addressed it. She addressed both of them.
She did. She did. She did not sugarcoat it, hide it. She wasn't.
She was very open about it.
She was very open about it, and she's like, "Look, this is the situation. This was my life. This is what happened. Here we are."
Yeah. And then she slayed, and you couldn't stand the fact that she slayed.
Nope. Could not.
Because she could slay without you.
Yeah.
And she would have ran that kingdom to a T.
Oh, what?
No sweat.
Kidding me? If she was queen today? What? Get out.
We're not going to talk about it.
I know. But again,
I got goosebumps, babe. I know you hear Diana.
Yes. But yeah, I just, to kind of round it out, when I tell y'all that video had me going, I was like, what? I said, first off, you bold. You said this in front of everybody here. Mm-hmm. So good for you. Mm-hmm. But move on. Mm-hmm. Move on. Yes. Move on. I don't think he's ever going to be 7 years deep. And you want to wait another 3 to make it a full decade to say that I've been by you for 10 years when he clearly isn't by you.
Right.
For that time. And clearly he's still with the same person or whoever for the amount of time that you've been kicking it with him. Move on. And you should have, and like Criss Cross said, she should have just been doing her. You want to be a side, you my side too. I still gonna do 100%. I'm still gonna do me. So what do you guys think? Do you think, with everything we just said, and the rarity of being a side to a main, do you think it's possible to be a side piece to now the main piece? Is that even a possibility? And what do you say about side pieces even trying to wait to be a main? Is that like a hopeless dream? Do you think they'll ever actually succeed in that? definitely want to hear what you guys think.
And please say some realistic shit because no, seriously, please say some realistic shit because don't hop on here and be like, well, you don't know the situation. I know that one of y'all is dumb and the other one is dumber. You know what I'm saying? And y'all both neglect respect and common sense.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
So let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to our recommends for this episode. I will start. So for me, this is again, I have like another book I have a book recommends, but it's also a toy. So don't come for me, and I'll explain why. Now, I know a lot of you have seen mini brands. They do like little foods, they do little clothes, they do little shoes, they do a whole bunch of little things. Well, recently, mini brands came out with, and this is for my book lovers, books. They are so cute. They are tiny books. They're really tiny replicas of a lot of our big books. A lot of them like Diary of the Wimpy Kid. If you've watched Mean Girls, then you'll know what the Burn book is. There's Mad Libs, and there's Vampire Diaries. There's so many little books. Now, the reason I recommend it, I don't just recommend it for kids, but I recommend it to book lovers and adults. And the main reason I say that is because I'm trying to still figure out who they are actually advertising this for, even though it's in the kids section. Because once you see there is a Colleen Hoover book in there, we are, those of us who are book lovers know those books are not appropriate for children. And yes, they may be a tiny version. And the first 1 or 2 pages you can actually read. After that, the words are a little blurred. It's still a little too much that I wouldn't want a kid to walk around with, even though it is just a replica of the original book. But I do think they are catering it also to a lot of adult book lovers. So I do recommend Mini Brands books. They are very difficult to find. They just came out not too long ago. So if you can get your hands on it, I would say enjoy them. People have been making bookshelves and little things out of them. So I recommend for my book lovers, Mini Brands books.
Nice. So my recommendation is an experience, being that we do live in the city that doesn't sleep. The main thing that most people look at is Broadway. So my recommendation this week is Wicked on Broadway. Gotta love Wicked. It's the story of Elphaba, who is the Wicked Witch of the West, and her actual story and how she became the Wicked Witch. And it's actually based off the book by Gregory Maguire back in 1995 called Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. So good. Such a great read. The original Wicked performance opened back in October of 2003. So Wicked has been on Broadway for over 20 years and is about to be the longest running Broadway show of its time. So it is such a good story. If you want to read the book, I truly recommend the book as well. Read the book, go see the play. It is only 2 hours and 45 minutes long. There is an intermission. Completely worth it. Wicked on Broadway.
Dun, dun, dun. My recommendation is going to be another Netflix view. I am going to recommend the movie Lavender. And that is a psychological thriller. And I think you should view it. It is a little confusing, but that would just make you watch the movie with more undivided attention. And hopefully you get the real message that follows the ending and why what happened. So check it out, Lavender.
Nice. All right, guys. So thank you again for listening and tuning in, and just following us. We really appreciate all of our listeners. You guys are amazing. And again, we can't wait to hear your feedback. Any recommendations for us, we'll greatly appreciate it. And definitely try out our recommendations and let us know what you thought about them. So we wish you all the best. And this has been My Kind of Convo. See you later.